Good afternoon, folks. In today's video, we have a lot to cover. Breaking news last night, happened late last night. John Morton fired as OC. We all expected him to be fired. Now we have an opportunity to really look at who is going to be the next play caller for the Detroit Lions. Former quarterback David Blough is on his way to actually interview for the OC job. We have other possible candidates the Lions could look at. Let's get into it. Today's Lions Rumors. Alrighty, folks. As you know, the Lions fired John Morton. He is no longer in Detroit. We all knew it was going to happen. Everybody knew he was going to be gone. That was the worst kept secret in the NFL. He was going to be gone. So, who are Lions going to pick up? Well, we have an interview coming. Former Detroit Lions quarterback David Blough. He was part of the Washington Commanders last year, interviewing for the Lions OC job. Now, I heard this name before, and especially if Dan Campbell wanted to do play calling, David Blough would make a lot of sense, and here is why. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm endorsing this. Not at all. I'm just telling you from a perspective of Dan Campbell in this regime. He understands Jared Goff very well, clearly. All right? He's actually innovated for the Commanders with Cliff Kingsbury, learning different plays, and same within Detroit. He's young and an upcoming coordinator. He's not old in the old school of ways. And he continues to make plays. So he's not someone that's just going to stay with the exact same play call. He's going to go in there and try to come up with some new ideas. So I understand the idea of getting Blough to come in here and to be the Lions OC. And I know a lot of people would say, no way. It's a terrible decision. Don't do that. I understand it. I'm not advocating for it, but I understand it. Would I be mad about it? No, I don't think I'd be mad. I would be concerned because we haven't seen anything, no body of work, but nor did Kellen Moore, Ben Johnson, Kevin O'Connell at some point. You go down the list, eventually people had to have that opportunity, and a lot of former quarterbacks has actually succeeded. Would you like the Lions to sign David Blough as OC? S for sign, P for pass. Give me your thoughts. Let's continue on here. Talk about other OC candidates. Shout out to Eric Scheelhaase, right at Detroit. He did 13 candidates. Well, let's go over them. Let's go over them right now. Todd Monken, Ravens, offensive coordinator. That would be a really good one. Obviously, he was with the Ravens. A lot of Lions fans would love to have Monken here. Just like I talked about Cliff Kingsbury in a video yesterday, being with somebody that's more of a mobile quarterback, I think is probably more ideal for OC. He's not loaded with a ton of play calling experience. He's not been doing it for a long time, but he's had success, clearly. And Tyler Linderbaum connection. Right? You want Tyler Linderbaum? That's how you do it. Mike Kafka, Giants OC and interim coach, has actually done a pretty good job for play calling for the Giants. I got to give him a lot of credit. They fired DeBall, and I think he bring a little bit of life to that team. Now, look, as an OC, that's actually not bad. And he had an interim coach. You say, why would, just interim? Dan Campbell was an interim coach too. Their offense was actually successful. And they had a lot of injuries. Remember, the Giants came to our house and nearly beat us, man. So this is a really good option, too. Eric Scheelhaase. Zac Robinson, Falcons OC. A little less higher on this potential hire. I would actually go for Raheem Morris for defensive coordinator. I thought he did a phenomenal job. Zac Robinson is another guy on the table. Scottie, Montgomery, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't really want to hire within. I don't. I want to go outside. This would be ideal if they want to just elevate. Let's get outside the organization. Let's get a different look. That's my thought. David Blough, we already talked about him. Now, Rams passing game coordinator. Yes, I talked about Nathan Scheelhaase. Folks from the Rams, especially in the passing game or anyone that deals with quarterbacks, are all going to be looked at. Clearly, the Rams are a great organization. Obviously, Brad Holmes was with them. Makes like a fit for what you would think. But again, it's not someone that's done it before. So that is a worrisome when you get a new coordinator, a coordinator that hasn't been, or somebody that hasn't been an offensive coordinator. It's a risk. Jake Perez, Seahawks, they've done good over there. Doesn't necessarily mean he would be good. Right? Marcus Brady, I'd probably go in a different direction. David Webb, I'd probably go in a different direction. Let's not go for Broncos pass game coordinators. That one bite us last year. Former OCs with concerns or former head coaches. These are the ones that I like. So before we do that, name one player you want the Lions to OC to be. Give me your thoughts in the comments right now. Kevin Stefanski. He's going to be probably a head coaching job. Great mind. I would look at it for sure. This is the individuals I'm looking at. Brian DeBall, former coach. Cliff Kingsbury. I love his offense. I don't think that the Lions would go this way, but I love his offense. But I don't think they go this way. He's more mobile. But you got to put him on Liz. He's awesome. Thomas Brown. It's another one. Former Patriot and Browns OC. There's some folks for the Lions to get. There's the folks for some Lions to get. They come in here, they're talking about reasons of why of getting David Blough. I didn't actually read this article yet. But, like we said, so it's, let's get in this conversation because this one's interesting. It's all about, do you want someone new, up and coming? You're taking a risk, but could it be really good, right? It could be a situation where you're putting your chips on the table and you can win big. You can win big, right? And that's one thing. And this for David Blough, we're just going to go with anyone that hasn't been OC yet. Not just the David Blough, but you're talking about gambling on this. Do you want to do that? Now, maybe you do. Maybe Dan Campbell does. And it ends up being great. Just because you're a former coach or former head coach doesn't mean you're going to be good. There's a risk there as well. Right? He does have a high demand. I heard about David Blough a while ago. There is going to be a high demand for him for OC. Again, it's the trajectory of the former quarterbacks. And they're very successful, actually, as coaches. Former quarterbacks are successful as coaches, generally speaking. Like I said, he designed plays. He's already designed some plays. He's done that with the Commanders and Cliff Kingsbury. He's done that a little bit with the Lions and Jared Goff, even though he wasn't a coach. Because they were working together. He's being tabbed as a future head coaching candidate. Boy. And this could be another situation, right, if a Ben Johnson doesn't mean it's going to be this way. He could be a complete David bust or David blow, right? Or it could be a David Glow and be the next Ben Johnson, be the next hot candidate. I wouldn't be opposed to it. And people laugh because I always would talk about David Blough as a quarterback and the skill set or lack thereof. But it's different. Would you guys hire David Blough? It's different because it doesn't really, it's not about physical traits. It's about your brain as an OC. It's about your ability to connect with the players. It's about the play call. You want to have movement. You want to outsmart the DC. That's what it's about. And I thought with John Morton, there was no outsmarting. Another risk for a young OC, someone that hasn't done it before, what I am looking for offense is crisp, clean, mechanical operation. No false starts, no moving before the snap, no holding, no players out of position, dropping the football. No. We need to go back to machine of Ben Johnson, where it was efficient. Can he bring efficiency to the Lions? Can he do that? That's a question. Inexperienced. That is a damn negative. It's a risk. Risk versus reward. Play calling remains a problem. Dan Campbell said he may call plays. And there's a lot talented experience of other OCs out there. That's the dilemma that the Lions are in right now. New blood versus experienced. That will be going down until we hire somebody. That is going to be the question. Do you want to get somebody with experience? Do you want to get somebody without? Give me your thoughts. I want you guys to discuss this one. Adios.